What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Monday, December 13th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter, at Josh Engleman, only place you're getting updates to my sims as we get closer to lock. Let me know in the comment section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. And finally, shout out to Prize Picks for being the presenting sponsor of this video. Use the promo code Awesemo when signing up to get up to $100 on your first deposit. Now we're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Kelly Oubre, Spencer Dinwiddie, Tyler Hero, Malcolm Brogdon, and Gary Trent on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. In first at number 5, I'm looking at Pascal Siakam, power forward eligible, 7,800, projected for 42.5 fantasy points. The goal is 48. He's in the optimal lineup 20% of the time. I got him in for 37 minutes because these crazy Raptors starters just play forever. 1.15 fantasy points per minute in this spot because it's a massive pace up spot for Toronto. They gain 2.4 possessions over their average. 22 points, 9 boards, 4.5 assists, and 2 stocks for Siakam in a great spot against the Kings. This is what we're looking for. In at number 4, we're looking at Chris Boucher, power forward center eligible, 5K, projected for 32. The goal is 36. He's in the optimal lineup 24% of the time. I gave Boucher 26 minutes. It's really up in the air here. The Raptors are completely possible. Like, they can very easily go to Siakam at the 5 lineups, especially against Sacramento. So I think 26 minutes felt good. And if it's 26 minutes, I'm going to get a lot of him. 1.25 fantasy points per minute, 14 points. Almost 9 boards, 2.5 stocks, maybe an assist, who knows. That same pace up spot that we saw for Siakam here. That's why you're seeing Trent, Siakam, Boucher. There's a lot to like here for the Raptors. If Chris Boucher gets named the starter, and that is what I'm expecting here, 26 minutes feels like the floor. 30 is certainly reasonable. 5K though, and the ability to get him at power forward and center, that's what we're looking at. At number 3, we go to Reggie Jackson, point guard eligible, 6K, projected for 34.5. The goal is 40.5. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. It's looking like we're not going to have any Paul George tonight. And what that means is that Reggie Jackson goes nuts. 30% usage this season with no Paul George on the floor. 33 minutes. Sorry, that would have been really ridiculous. Talking like 1.1 fantasy points per minute, 19.5 real points, 6 assists and 4 boards and a stock. And oddly enough, it's actually a pace up spot for the Clippers against Phoenix. They'll gain 1.7 possessions over their average. This shouldn't be all that shocking. When Reggie Jackson is priced like he normally is, but then Paul George isn't going to play, you should just play more Reggie Jackson. Speaking of Jacksons, in at number 2, if he plays, is Jaren Jackson, power forward center eligible, 6,400, projected for 40.5. The goal is just 42. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. We don't know if he's going to be able to play here. He is questionable. I'm going with the assumption that he does, and we're not going to have Steven Adams, so we'll probably see more time for Jaren Jackson at the 5. 32 minutes, 1.26 fantasy points per minute because Jaren Jackson has a 30% usage rate with no Ja Morant on the floor this year. 21 points, 8 boards, and then 1 or more of everything. Assist, steals, and you get to 2 blocks. Pace down spot against Philly, not ideal. Matchup against Joel Embiid, not ideal for Jaren Jackson, but he is just not priced correctly. If this game is competitive, if he is not in foul trouble, you are going to need him. He's going to fill up a stat sheet, and the stock upside is truly scary. Plus, power forward and center makes it really easy to get to him. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter, at Josh Engleman. Only place you get the updates to these sims as we get closer to lock. I need you to let me know in the comments who your favorite and least favorite contender are. And finally, one last shout out to Prize Picks for being the presenting sponsor of this video. This one's not even really close. Jalen Brunson is your number 1 contender for today. Point guard, shooting guard eligible, 6,300. Projected for almost 40 fantasy points. The goal, 42. He's in the optimal lineup 34% of the time. I gave him 34 minutes. He's like 1.2 fantasy points per minute with no Luka Doncic on the floor. Oh yeah, by the way, no Luka Doncic. 25% usage, 20 points, 8 assists, 6 boards, and a stock in a pace-up spot against a short-handed Charlotte Hornets team. This is very clearly the best dude you're going to find here. He's going to get tons of ownership today, and it's well warranted. Jalen Brunson is your number 1 contender for tonight. I shouldn't have stumbled on that. Jalen Brunson is your number 1 contender for tonight. There we go. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Monday, December 13th. DraftKings version of this video is around here somewhere. Check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win a little bit of money. We're back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.